You know, you have an amazing ability. It's what really sets you apart to be able to, as you describe it, see as the animals see it. But you're also a teacher. So have you been able to teach others to see the world through the eyes of an animal the way that you are able to see it?
Well, when I first started in the 70s, I thought everybody was a visual thinker. I didn't realize I thought differently. And I find that some people I can teach, other people I just have to give them checklists where they can go in and they just use a checklist to look for the different things. But I've went into a plant. Here's one that's really cool. It's over in Ireland. And we get off the Dublin airport. We get out and we get this really super cool executive black helicopter. You want cool. And this is only like 3 years ago. This is relatively recent. We land on the front lawn of this beef plant. And we go in there and the cattle wouldn't go in the stun box. And I go up there and there were some holes in the door about this big. The cattle could see some motion through it. And we covered them with duct tape and it worked. And then we flew away. That was 3 years ago. And people kind of go, oh, why didn't I see that? That's all we did. That was 3 years ago. I guess I got job security.
I've gotten to meet one of your assistants, Lily, I think is her name.
Yeah, Lily Calloway Edwards.
And so she is very eloquent, speaks, but her social skills are very different than yours.
She's got good social skills.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm wondering. So was she a visual thinker like you? I don't want to talk about another person, but I'm very impressed with her, and yet she's very different from you. So how did she get the capacity to work as closely as she is with you?
Well, she was hired by a meat company, and she went around all their plants. And then I visited the plants after she had been there, and I saw the things that she did, and they were the same things that I did. And you see, you can teach it. You can teach it. And the thing that's interesting is you can go into a place and you fix a whole lot of little things, and it adds up to a big thing. I'll give you an example. I went in an older plant, and they did dairy cows there. Well, the first mistake they made is they were bringing too many cattle up at a time. So I stopped that. Okay, I first worked on the handling. I got the electric prods out of their hands. Okay, now they still were blocking. They wouldn't go into the single file chute. And there was a sunbeam coming in, and we blocked that with a tarp. Then they could see a person who was checking the cattle IDs. We put a big piece of cardboard up in front of her. Okay, that fixed that part of it. Then coming around up to the restrainer area, they wouldn't go in. I taped the light on the restrainer. Then people were walking by in front of it. We hung a curtain up. And we did all those things. These were simple things. There was a big improvement in the handling. And each time we fixed one of these things, it got better. And these were not expensive things. It was an old, shabby facility. And a whole lot of little things add up to a big thing. Too often, people want to do the big thing. Oh, let's just tear it all out. No, wait a minute. And I've gone into places that had brand new equipment. I remember going into one place, they were running their conveyors too fast. They thought it would speed up. Oh, I said, slow it down, this is terrible. And then they had a gate that went like that, and I fixed that. And then I put a light on the restrainer entrance, and there's a tendency to want to do the big thing, where sometimes it's a whole lot of little things you need to do.
Your way of viewing the world allows you to connect with animals, but I would also think that because you see the world so differently, connecting with just regular people would be a different experience for you. What has it been like for you to talk with people that view the world so differently than you?
The first step is realizing that people think differently. That's the first step. And then you can learn how to work with them. Like all the stuff now with coronavirus, I'm disgusted that they haven't done a better job on repurposing old drugs for the anti-inflammatory. People are too busy fighting, I call it psychodrama, than they are in solving problems. Years ago, I used to say engineering's easy. It's the people problems that are hard.